Welcome in live to the heart of the desert. It all comes down to this. One race, 4 drivers, with everything on the line. And the dream of being crowned your 2024 NASCAR Cup Series champion. Well, it is a beautiful morning here in Phoenix, and I am Alex Weaver, live on pit road from Phoenix Raceway. And you can start to feel the energy building already. We are getting closer and closer to the drop of the green flag for our championship race. The fans are starting to pack into the racetrack and the cars are being gridded. But it all comes down to this for 4 drivers. With Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, William Byron, and Ryan Blaney, they have their eyes on NASCAR's biggest prize, a championship trophy. But it's been a very busy weekend here at Phoenix Raceway already. We've already crowned 2 champions. It was Jessie on Friday night, who took home the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series trophy. And then last night, the little gator of Justin Allgaier got it done for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So I mentioned the energy. We have to get down to pit road with Jessie Punch.
Thanks, Alex. You are right about the energy here today. It is electric. You can feel it in the air. This is the finale weekend, the championship race. This is what all of these drivers and teams work so hard for all year long, just to get here today. And we'll hear from a handful of these drivers ahead of today's competition. All 4 of our championship contenders up on the main stage with Alex. But before we get to these interviews, let's take a look at the 2 guys that are leading the field to green here today.
It looks good so far as he makes his way off 4 and back to the line.
Truex to the top of the leaderboard.
He's right on the edge there with Truex. Logano challenges Martin Truex but can't do it. Martin Truex Jr. on the pole in his final full-time race in the Cup Series. Well done.
In his final full-time NASCAR Cup Series start, it'll be Martin Truex Jr. who took home the Busch Light pole. But beside him on the front row will be Championship 4 contender Joey Logano. Here's where the rest of your Championship 4 will roll off for today's race. William Byron will be starting 8th. The defending champ, trying to go back-to-back with Ryan Blaney, will be rolling off 17th. But making his first appearance in the Championship 4 for 23XI Racing, Tyler Reddick will roll off 10th. He's with Jessie now.
Thanks, Alex. Tyler, congratulations. First Championship 4 appearance. So much hard work goes into just getting to this moment today. How do you describe the emotions that come with this accomplishment?
That's good. There's a lot of them. I feel like for the most part, the emotions kind of been in check for like the last week and a half, but certainly, going out of the garage, getting the messages I did from the fellow Jordan Brand athletes and ambassadors, and then the notes and messages from family and friends this morning. You wake up this morning feeling really, feeling a huge range of emotions, but just appreciate those emotions because it without those, this wouldn't mean what it does. So, just trying to process it all, and I feel like kind of when I stepped out of the bus this morning, I acknowledged it, put it all in a place, and just getting ready to go to work now.
Well, you mentioned getting those messages from friends and family, and the mentality side of preparation. You're driving for a guy who knows a lot about winning championships, known to be one of the greatest to win championships. What did those messages look like from him? What does that pre-race pep talk look like from Michael Jordan?
Well, yesterday we were talking quite a bit about qualifying. I know I'll see him before we get in the car today, here in the garage or even at the car. So I'm looking forward to that conversation, one last time before we get in the car and go. But yeah, anytime you have someone like that talking to you about, what you're struggling with, or, we were just talking about how practice went and what I need to do in qualifying, and just knowing someone like him, as he did from the beginning, believes in me and is proud of this team and this effort that we put forth. Just being able to talk through that stuff with one of the greatest to ever do it is a privilege.
Well, he clearly said something in there that worked, because you guys made up a lot of speed from practice to qualifying. What can you tell me about what you guys have brought to the table to compete with this weekend?
Ooh. Yeah, I think everyone's just working really hard at 23XI. Bubba, Denny, there's a number of us that have just been trying to work together, talk through this, kind of like we always do. But Bubba's been a huge help this weekend. Obviously, he wants to go out here and win this race, but he's been going the extra mile to really help us and our team, especially with our struggles on Friday. So it's just great when we have teammates like that. The mindset we have at 23XI is there from season start to season end. So just appreciate everyone's hard work. It's been a grind of a year. It's been up and down, especially in the playoffs. But we've definitely had a pattern of doing the impossible at times. So hopefully it doesn't come down to that today, but I know it won't be over until the checkered flag is thrown.
So much of even getting to this moment today through the grind of the playoffs is that balance between getting here, but also needing to be aggressive and finding that line. So in looking at today's competition, where is that line for you and how do you know when to cross it?
Yeah, I think, we do stage racing all year long, and we're chasing stage points, trying to get playoff points by winning stages. And today it's all about the finish at the end of the race. So I think maintaining control of this race, staying in the front of this race all day will be a benefit. Starting 10th, we're not quite there yet, so we need a good start and pick a few cars off. But yes, it's a long race from that sense. You have a lot of time to get to the front and hopefully stay there. So it is a bit different of a mindset and shift that you would at other races that we've had all year long to this point.
Well, Tyler, thank you so much for the time today. Have some fun. Good luck out there.
Thank you very much.
Let's send it over to Alex, who is hanging out with another Toyota driver who has quite the day ahead of him.
We're here in the driver owner lot with Martin Truex Jr., who it is his final full-time race in the NASCAR Cup Series. Phoenix Raceway is where you're going to take the checkered flag for the last time in your full-time career. Let's first talk about when you announced. What has this year felt like since the announcement?
I don't know. It's it's kind of, I don't know, been somewhat of a countdown, but also like knowing there's only a certain amount of races and we've been trying really hard to obviously try to win a race, and that's not been too good here lately. But yeah, I don't know. Just the further down the line you get, it's like, okay, we got less opportunities, to do something big with this year. So we're down to one, and hopefully we can make something good happen.
You'll cross that start-finish line for the final time in your full-time career. And what do you think the emotions are going to be like? Have you thought about that moment?
Not really. I'm just not really trying to think about any of it, honestly. Just focus on my job and what's going on, and then just take it as it comes. It's I guess you can't really prepare for it, for what you're going to feel or whatever. Just trying to kind of soak it all in and trying to have some fun along the way as well.
Well, it'll be fun for fans to see, and not only watching you race this race, but also you have on the throwback fire suit. You're going to have a throwback paint scheme, and you got a little gift on your helmet. Can you talk about what they did for you with your helmet that you're running today?
Yeah, the helmet's really cool. Tommy and Greg at Off Axis, and all the guys got to put that together. So just a lot of cool pictures of memories of big wins and championship pictures and things like that over the years. They put it on there, so it looks awesome. It's going to definitely go on the shelf and after this race, and be a good little reminder of all the things we were able to do together.
Let's talk about the paint scheme too, because it's throwing it back to your NASCAR Cup Series debut. What do you think of seeing the car for the first time?
It looks awesome. I mean, it's always been, that was always one of my favorites. We couldn't quite get the metallic in it because, it used to be paint back in those days. We actually painted the cars. Yeah, and now it's a wrap, so it doesn't have that metallic shine to it, but it looks awesome. It's very cool. It was always one of my favorite schemes, and this fire suit brings back a lot of memories. I remember the first time I put this on, I went to Daytona to test the Chance 2 car for the first time, and I remember putting this on and looking down and be like, they have like 3 of these hanging in there for me, and it fit perfect, and I was like, man, I got a big time sponsor, and just really, really cool memories of I just thought of that when I put this thing on this morning. Like it kind of brought me back. So that's really cool, and that's really what this is all about. So just thanks to everyone for putting it together, putting a lot of thought into it, all of it, and it means a lot to me.
Well, you've had a lot of supporters, a lot of fans throughout your career. They've watched you win a NASCAR Cup Series Championship. What do you have to say to the fans that have supported you your whole career?
Well, just thank you. It's meant a lot. It's been awesome to be able to do the things that we've done on the racetrack and off the racetrack as well, and their support over the years has been amazing. And but it's the last full-time race, yes, not the last race. So there will be more, and I'm looking forward to just being able to have some fun from here on out, and less stress. No, not worried about points anymore, and playoff points and playoffs and all that. It'll be nice to just go have some fun and race again and do it like we used to.
Well, thank you for letting us be a part of it. We look forward to seeing what you do today and in the years to come.
Yeah, I look forward to it too. Thank you.
All right, Jessie, it's back to you, where I hear you're standing with one of our Championship 4 drivers, Ryan Blaney.
Thanks, Alex. Our defending champion, Ryan Blaney, looking to earn his second NASCAR championship here this afternoon. Ryan, does coming into today, hunting for that title, knowing you're the defending champ, does that kind of help with the confidence, the calm a little bit?
I think it helps that we have the experience, recent experience for sure. So, yeah, I definitely think it helps this whole group, the whole 12 team, just being a little bit more comfortable in this environment, because it is a high pressure environment. And I feel like our group, we've really worked hard on how do you handle the pressure of big moments, and how do you get excited for that pressure, because it is an honor to have that pressure. It means you're going for something truly special. So we're ready for the day. I think we've looked forward to this, for 6 days now after Martinsville, and really look forward to it all year in hopes that we could get here. So it should be a great day.
You seem so cool, confident, collected, standing up here chatting with me now, so it's evident how you feel going into this race. However, qualifying didn't quite go as to planned for you all, but you're stellar here at Phoenix. Are you concerned at all about the car that you guys brought this afternoon?
No, I felt really good Friday night in practice. In qualifying, yeah, I just missed turn one and got loose, and couldn't really make the time back that I lost in turn one. So, but I do feel good about our race car. So I think that's, and honestly, I thought I had a really good 3 and 4 in qualifying. So I was like, okay, well, the speed's there. I just got free. So I'm not too concerned about it. Obviously, I would like to have been starting better, but this group has been really good at making our way through the field if we don't qualify well. And I think that just really speaks to our race pace and the versatility in our car. And hopefully that still carries over today from what we had Friday.
Well, you mentioning how stellar this group here is at Phoenix and understanding how to work this track. Haven't won here, but you guys have the average best finish of any driver out there. What is it about this place that works so well with the 12 team?
Yeah, I think it's multiple things. It's a place that just kind of suits, every team has tracks that kind of fit what they do as a company, how they build cars and how they prepare for weekends. And this place is just kind of suited Team Penske. Especially in the next gen era, but even before that, has really kind of worked with what we do and our mindset. And I enjoy this place. It's a tricky place. You have 2 completely different ends of the racetrack. So how do you get your car to do things on each end of the racetrack pretty decent while it's asking for different things, as far as setup wise and things like that. So I think we enjoy that challenge of trying to think our way around that. So that's been really well, the imagination of Team Penske of how do we make our car work on a flat 1 and 2, and then kind of a sharp bank 3 and 4. And we accept that challenge and we enjoy that. So yeah, I think it's a great place from a team side, and it helps that I like racing around this place too.
Well, looking at the journey that it took to get you here to Phoenix today, the walk-off win at Martinsville for the 2nd year in a row, although those journeys look similar, what's the difference in you and this 12 team here today versus last year?
Yeah, very similar. 2nd at Miami and win at Martinsville just like we did last year. And I think really the only difference is just the mindset of our team. And I touched on it earlier of just, that little bit of comfort with more experience and being in this scenario and situation and trying to carry momentum from 7 days ago to today. I feel like all that's very similar. It's just the little bit more comfort of being here and just kind of understanding how the day goes, how the weekend kind of flows. Everything's always changing, so you have to change with it, but it is in the back of your head of that. So very similar mindset from last year, go and take no prisoners and just try to do what we do as a team together the best that we can. And so it's very similar.
You're very focused on the task at hand today, but it is worth saying that this will be your final race as the current 2024 NASCAR Cup Series champion. So have you had time to reflect on your season as champion, what you're most proud of during that time?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be proud of. It's been a fun year for sure, and kind of our title defense year, and it's nice that we have another shot at it today. And I really think, a couple things were really special about it is sharing this with the group of people that you go to battle with every week, right? You have something that you share for your lifetime, but obviously this year, because it's so recent, I think one of the neatest things for me, as a driver and things, were seeing all the fans at these certain racetracks, maybe the championship was 6 months behind us last year or this year, and seeing fans for the first time, maybe at their home track, and getting congratulations and, hey champ, congrats on the championship last year. For me, it was 6 months ago, but for them, it was their first time seeing me maybe in a year, so that was always nice little reminders of what we did, and it really made me feel good that the fans cared, and they wanted to say that. So I have some amazing people that support me, amazing fans all across the country, and their support this year really got us through some times, and so I can't thank them enough for that. So hopefully we'll be able to, repeat that and have the same thing happen next year.
Well, Ryan, congratulations on your year as champion. Thank you for everything you've done for our sport, and good luck today fighting for another one.
Thank you.
That's Ryan Blaney, one of our 4 Championship 4 drivers. The confidence is just exuding from Ryan as he stands up here with me on stage. He's going to make his way over to the Championship 4 stage now to chat with a few of our other drivers and Alex herself. Now, he mentioned the fans, and if you can hear them behind me, they are here, they are loud, they are ready for race day. They're starting to fill in the grandstands. It is a beautiful day to crown a champion. You can see the cars are gridded on the start-finish line behind me. The teams are making their way out. The energy is just so electric. You really can't put into words how much hard work goes into getting all of these drivers, teams, crew chiefs, spotters. It is such a team effort just to get here today. You heard Ryan Blaney talk about the fight that this 12 team has had all season long. And now to get to see these guys put it into action and see how it could potentially pay off here today is going to be huge. Now, like I said, we're going to hear from some drivers that aren't Championship 4 contenders as well. Some major storylines heading into this weekend as it is the final race of the regular season. We have drivers retiring. We have teams retiring. A lot of emotion surrounding today, to say the least. So very excited to be here to hear from all of these drivers and teams and see how their season is coming to an end from an emotional side of things as well. Well, let's go ahead and send it over to the main stage. Alex has all 4 of our championship contenders.
I'm so honored that you guys chose to pick your Sunday plans and hang out here with us. We're going to crown a champion today. What do you say? I have the honor of bringing out our Championship 4 contenders. So when you hear your favorite driver or your championship pick, I need you to make a lot of noise for them. I'm going to bring up our first driver contending for the NASCAR Cup Series Championship trophy. He's already won it twice. He's going for his 3rd. Representing Team Penske, the driver of the number 22, Joey Logano.
Hey, guys. Hey.
Making his first Championship 4 appearance with 3 wins on the season. He locked in at Homestead Miami Speedway. The driver of the number 45, Tyler Reddick. Making his 2nd Championship 4 appearance, representing Chevrolet and Hendrick Motorsports, the driver of the number 24, William Byron. And they say one of the hardest feats in our sport is to go back-to-back with NASCAR Cup Series champions. But he's hoping to do it today. Representing Team Penske, driving the number 12 Ford Dark Horse Mustang, your reigning champ, Ryan Blaney. Well, good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to Championship Sunday. We made it. How are we feeling this morning?
Great. Ready to go. It's been a long week. Ready to go.
I like it. Let's go down the line. Tyler, how are you feeling this morning? What are the emotions like?
Yeah, they've, this morning, feeling the moment, excited for it. I enjoy getting to spend a few moments with my son and wife before heading out of the bus and getting ready for the day.
William, how did we sleep last night? Slept like a baby.
I slept good. I slept great. So, got a bunch of sleep. So excited to get ready to go.
And Ryan, I mentioned going back to back. What a 2-year span it would be for you if you can bring home another title. But how's this morning been so far?
Yeah, it's been great. A little bit busy, but it's better than sitting around doing nothing and not being part of this group up here. So, it's just, like these guys said, it's kind of a long weekend of, a lot of somewhat sitting around. So I think everyone's just anxious to get going, and I know all the fans are ready for a race to happen. So, it should be a good day.
Well, I want to now turn it to kind of the battle of teams, but we have 50% of our Championship 4 is Team Penske and is trying to bring Roger Penske another championship. So for Joey and Ryan, what is it like having your teammate alongside of you for this Championship 4 battle?
It's been great. You know, I mean, I think the whole reason why we're here is because we were great teammates. Blaney and I have worked together for a long time now. I don't know, how many years has it been, Ryan?
10 years.
10 years?
Wow.
Is this your 10th year?
No, it's more than that. You came in 2013, right? So 11 years. Yeah, 11
Long time.
years.
Longer.
We're old. That means we're old.
When he was YRB, that's when we started working together. Now he's regular Ryan Blaney. he's not old yet. He's not young anymore.
Middle-aged.
Right? He's middle-aged Ryan Blaney. But we've had great teamwork over the last 11 years, apparently, or 13 years, whatever it's been. But, and I think our teams work good as well. It's not just the drivers on the track, but it's the teams that make a big piece of it. And, I know Roger's excited. I got to talk to him a lot yesterday, and Ford's excited as well. So we're ready to make it happen today.
Ryan, for you, how is it different than your championship quest in 2023, having Joey alongside of you?
Yeah, I think, Joey touched on it, that I feel like our group as Team Penske, we do a great job, better than anybody else, of working together, and that's what makes us strong. We rely on each other, and the drivers, crew chiefs, mechanics, everybody rely on each other and try to share information and just continue to learn from each other, and that's what it means to have people around you, right? That's in any type of company with a bunch of employees or anything, you're always getting better from each other, and how do you utilize that? So I think it's been great to kind of lean on each other, the 12 and the 22 team, and it just makes us stronger overall and gives us a better chance to try to bring a trophy back to Team Penske, in general. So it's been, I was the lone wolf last year, so it's nice to have a buddy.
You're still kind of the lone wolf with the beard going on.
Yeah, it's a little grayer.
I like it.
More gray hairs.
It's a championship beard. Well, let's turn it now to 2311 racing, because Tyler, it's not just your first championship appearance in the NASCAR Cup Series, but it's also 2311's first time going after a title. What has the mindset been like since you locked in Miami?
Yeah, we've just had a great opportunity, week and a half, if you will, to get a head start on focusing on Phoenix, and I think that's been great for us. I feel like we did a really good job preparing our Toyota Camry. Obviously, practice didn't go the way we wanted it to, but I've got great teammates at Toyota Racing, Denny and Bubba, really helping paint the picture of what their practice looked like, what I could do to maybe find some speed. So qualifying went pretty good, and I know what I need to do as a driver in the car today to get better.
I have to imagine with a boss like Michael Jordan, though, it's championship or bust mentality. Am I right on saying that?
Yeah, I mean, that's why each of us up here, our mindset is strictly on that. It's not about being second or third. It's about how do we win this championship. And I mean, we've kept that mindset. We've been put in bad spots throughout the playoffs, back against the wall, and had to get the results. And we've done it twice, and we're looking to do it a third time.
All right, William, you are holding the banner there for Chevrolet, but also for Hendrick Motorsports. We already know that organization, just like the other two that are standing up here with you today, is all about championship mentality. And you guys start this season winning the Daytona 500. It's the biggest, race besides the championship in our sport. So give the fans a perspective of what it would be like to win the crown jewel of the Daytona 500 and be crowned our champion today.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. That would be two ways to book in the year for sure. But just, it's all about the team behind us. We have so many great employees at Hendrick Motorsports and such a great culture. And I feel like that culture is really shown throughout this week, is just the teamwork and everyone chipping in on the car. So excited for the race, excited to get going for sure.
I want to ask each of you drivers up here, has there been a highlight to this season so far? Obviously, we know the highlight will be if you win a championship today. But Joey, for you, what's been your favorite thing about 2024 so far?
I mean, obviously, I want to say today. I think there's been some big wins. I feel like our team's done a good job at showing up when it mattered the most. Vegas win was big. I heard someone say that. It was great. $1 million at the All-Star race. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Like that. That was good. Today pays even better. So our team does a good job on the big days. So today's a big day.
All right, Tyler, favorite memory from 2024?
Man, Homestead was pretty special. I feel like the way we had to dig through the Roval after getting the damage, being so far off the pace, that for me, we were really backed into a corner there, and be able to drive through the field with a car that was heavily damaged. I think that for me was one of the grittiest moments of our year, and hopefully we find some more grit. I know we're capable of it, and we'll see how today goes.
William, what's been the highlight from this season so far?
Yeah, I would say Martinsville, the 40th anniversary. That was a really cool weekend, and just very special to have all the employees there and all their families as well. So that one for sure.
All right, Ryan.
I would say personally for me, the overall way that our 12 team has kind of overcome adversity in a lot of these scenarios through the year. You know, I feel like there was a lot of opportunities of, you know, going through stretches where it wasn't going great or getting caught up in stuff that we couldn't control, but bouncing back from them. And that mentality of the whole 12 team was something I'm super proud of. And it's got us here, you know, of not letting things get to us and just what is the next job and how do we go accomplish the next thing. So that is what I'm proud of is the whole 12 team for having that mentality.
Well, I'm going to turn it back to our reigning champ here, too, because you guys have been the greatest fans. And I'm talking to folks who are tuning in. I'm talking to the thousands that have been camping out all weekend long at Phoenix Raceway. But Ryan, you have been such a great advocate and representative for our sport, being our reigning champ. Has there been a moment that you have kind of had in your life and in this past year that it's really sunk in that you are representing the sport of NASCAR and that you're representing it being our champion?
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like the neatest thing for me personally of the year of, you know, going through after the championship was seeing all of you all, the fans of, you know, whether the championship was 3 months removed, 6 months removed, 8 months removed, you know, going to these different places for the first time or the second time and seeing the fans maybe for the first time, a certain person, and getting their congratulations, even though it was so far in the past. Maybe it's the first time we've met again since that moment, and you know, hearing their congrats and how much they cared, you know, because the sport is driven off of you all that are here today. That guy in particular, the sport is driven off of. And so, no, it wouldn't be possible with y'all. I think y'all have made such a special experience for me throughout the year, and hopefully it'll be another special experience in 2025. So thank you guys again, but I think you guys have made this year so special.
Well, we saw the Cup Series. You guys had a practice session on Friday, but then qualifying. So I want to touch on this. Joey, you are the highest starting Champ 4 driver. You're rolling off on the front row. What does the front row do for a driver here at Phoenix?
Well, it sure doesn't hurt.
Absolutely
I can tell you
not.
that much. You know, qualifying is ultra important these days. All the cars are, you know, so equally matched. It's hard to find a huge advantage anywhere these days. So a lot of things can happen throughout the race, but you know, qualifying is always a statement. I always feel like when you come here to Championship 4 weekend, and if you can go out there and lay a little speed down and show what you're made of to start, I think that's a big deal. So we didn't quite get the pit stall that we wanted. That's the one downfall, but we were able to start this thing up front, and we can kind of control the pace from there. You know, hopefully we can take off and get the lead here, but if not, we'll run our race. We have a plan A, B, C, and D, and it all just depends on how things play out. But so far, the plan and qualifying has worked out well.
Tyler, you'll roll off 10th for today. How did you feel in that 45 Toyota Camry?
Yeah, you know, the lap itself was a bit eventful, you know, a couple slides, but it was nice we were able to squeeze our way into to round 2. And then, yeah, I think, I don't know, I was certainly surprised to see the lack of grip that round 2 had, the lack of pace. So we kind of had another big slide, and, you know, it was a okay lap. I didn't feel great about it, but it was surprising to see all the fall off from round 1 to round 2. So almost got William there with the lap we had, but still we got a pretty good choice on pit stall and stall 17 for today. And so mission accomplished out of the day yesterday.
William, you'll roll off also inside the top 10. So let's talk about your 24 Chevrolet and what you felt in practice and qualifying.
Yeah, I felt like practice was solid. And then qualifying was really good round 1, and then just made a little bit of a mistake in round 2. So luckily was able to get it back together and get 3 and 4 pretty good. But overall, just feel good about our race car. Feel like we've got a lot of potential.
All right, Blaney. Last but not least, passing some cars today. But how'd you feel in practice and qualifying?
Well, this team loves passing cars. We qualifying, you know, it didn't go our way yesterday, and just had a moment in one and kind of lost all our time. But was really happy with our car Friday, and we love coming from mid-pack and passing everybody and getting up there. So hopefully that's the same case today, and we'll see what happens.
Well, congratulations on a great season. I'm excited to see one of you hoist a trophy later. Phoenix Raceway, your championship 4.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Great to hear some insight from all 4 of our championship drivers. But with this being the finale race, this is the end of an era for Stewart-Haas Racing. One final race, Chase Briscoe. You've been with Stewart-Haas the entirety of your career, 7 years now. Done a lot of developing with this team. How do you describe the emotions of this weekend?
Yeah, it's weird. Truthfully, I honestly thought I would retire in the 14 cars. So, yeah, it's sad to see it all come to an end. It's crazy, honestly, to think that it is coming to an end. Just knowing how successful Stewart-Haas has been in the past, and just, it's not like this team is 30, 40 years in the sport, right? It's still fairly new, and for it to be as competitive as it's been and to come to an end is crazy to think. So, yeah, it's a bittersweet weekend, just the camaraderie, the friendship, I have with all my guys. They come to literally gender reveals that we've had, birthday parties for my kids. So to know that I don't get to race with them anymore is kind of tough. But, yeah, it's end of a chapter of not only my life, but certainly my career. So looking forward to the future, but certainly sad today just knowing what's kind of coming to an end.
Well, there have been some major milestones throughout your career with this team in that number 14 car. You said it yourself, it was a dream growing up just to sit in that race car, and now to be able to drive it, compete it, and race it for your hero growing up, Tony Stewart. When you reflect on all of this, is there a moment that really is going to stick with you the most?
Honestly, the whole thing. There's not one thing I would say that stands out the most, just the fact that I got to do, what I got to do, right? My mom even texted me this morning. She said, just embrace today. You got to drive for literally the guy that you dressed up as a kid, played your racing game. That's pretty crazy to think. Out of every car on the field that I could ever drive in the Cup Series, like the 14 would have been the one I would always pick. So, yeah, it's crazy. Just glad, honestly, that I was able to get the 14 car in victory lane. That's, at the end of the day, what's the most important to me, to add to that legacy. And to do it in our final season, too, is certainly special.
Well, Chase, congratulations on an incredible season. Congratulations on your time with Stewart-Haas Racing. Enjoy today. Try to take it all in.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chase. That's Chase Briscoe, who is finishing his time with Stewart-Haas Racing here today. One final race for that team before they close their doors. Now joining me, one of the 4 drivers competing for a title here this afternoon, William Byron. William, how are we feeling today? A lot's going on, a lot of fans, a lot of energy. I know you just got off the stage. A little temperature check with you.
Yeah, I feel good. Just kind of ready to get going. Just feel like, honestly, there's a lot to do today, but had a good night's sleep and excited to get with my team, do our pre-race meetings and things like that, and get going.
Tell me a little bit about this race car you guys brought this weekend. How confident are you in what this team has been able to put together?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel like practice was about as good as we could ask for. We were really solid. Was able to do some things overnight that I felt like were better changes to the car and improve it a little bit. So qualifying felt really good. Just had a little bit of a bobble in the second round, but it's a long race. We got pit stall 1, which was awesome. So more to go get.
In looking at what got you here, a bit of excitement to say the least in that decision-making process of who was going to be in this championship for. But through all of that, how do you compartmentalize all of those emotions this weekend and really focus on the task at hand?
It's pretty easy. We do it all year, so it's just about blocking out the noise, and I feel like our team does a really good job of that. We've been through a lot of adversity this year, and had some big moments this year. So yeah, I'm excited to get in the car and feel like our prep as a team's been as good as it can be all week. So yeah, we're ready to go.
And finally, the question: what does it mean for you, of course, if you were to be the one to be up there hoisting that trophy this afternoon?
That'd be huge. I mean, those emotions are hard to know right now, but I feel like once I get in that moment, yeah, it'll be a lot of emotions. But yeah, just excited about the task at hand and kind of the way this race plays out. It's a long race. There's still a lot to do throughout, and hopefully we can be there at the end.
Well, thanks for the time today, William, and good luck out there fighting for that title.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
That's William Byron, one of our 4 Championship 4 drivers. Another one of our Championship 4 drivers is standing by with Alex.
Well, William will have to go by a 2-time champion already, and he's going for his 3rd title, the driver of the number 22, Joey Logano. Welcome back to the Championship 4. It's your 6th appearance, making a Championship 4 appearance. So how does it feel with a 6th time?
Well, I've learned that the appearances don't matter. It's all about the trophy at the end of the day. So we feel ready. And the nice thing about the 6 appearances is you know how to handle everything. That's the positive to it all. And we feel like we've got a really solid plan put together, and we've been executing it so far since we came here, and just got to finish it off now.
This will be your 3rd championship, and we hear about all the legends of our sport, and it's hard to get 1 championship in the Cup Series. So what will 3 mean to you and your career?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to look at that right now as you're in the middle of it, but I kind of look at more so what a championship means to Penske, the people that work there. I've been there for so long that you get a relationship with everybody that works on the cars, and you know what a championship means to them. Not only from an emotional standpoint, but from a financial standpoint. Like we're racing for something real here today, and it affects everybody. So, I think for me, seeing what that is for everybody 2 times just makes you want to be able to do that again for him. So hopefully we can pull that off.
Well, we talked in Vegas, and I know you said how dangerous this team was going to be going after a title today, but you showed speed in qualifying. You unloaded off of the truck so fast, and you kind of called your shot a little bit more so in the media center, talking to the media earlier this week. So how much confidence does having a fast race car and starting up front add to calling your shot to win a title?
Well, I think our team just feels confident, right? And like you said, when we come here and do this many times, you learn to be comfortable with the amount of pressure. The pressure is real. We've seen every driver make a mistake in qualifying. Our car we did not, and we were able to get a solid qualifying run because of that. So pressure affects people in certain ways, and the more you do it and the more you get comfortable with it, the better you'll be.
Joey always says pressure is a privilege. I know that that's what this 22 team likes to say, but why does this crew and this team and this organization deserve the championship this season?
I think, why we deserve it, I could tell you why we're going to win it, but I think everyone is going to be saying the same thing as far as why they deserve it. Everyone's working really hard. Obviously, the whole field tries to reach the dream, right, of the championship. So anyone that's gotten this far deserves it, I believe, at this point. But I know we have a really strong team that's been doing this a long time. We have a lot of advantages that we can use. But I'd say whoever wins it will be a deserving champion.
Well, Joey Logano will be going after his 3rd championship, and he knows what it feels like to have a pressured pack situation and be on the world's biggest stage. And Jessie is standing by with an athlete who also knows the same.
He's won 28 Olympic medals, and today he will drive the pace car around Phoenix Raceway. Michael Phelps, welcome to NASCAR Championship Weekend. So happy to have you here. Are you excited to be a part of this whole pre-race ceremony?
I am. This is my first event I've ever been to. My wife and I have been talking to coming to an event for years now. So this is in our backyard. So I'm pumped, to drive the pace car. Had a couple test laps earlier, so I'm ready to go. But again, just also seeing and feeling the energy of these fans. It's a big week here. No better way to finish it in Phoenix, but I know you're going to see some electricity, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
First race, and they threw you in the pace car. They really threw you to the wind there, Michael. Well, you mentioned it, though, the energy, the ambiance. You know a thing or two about competing at these big events, these moments. How do you describe the atmosphere here today at the championship weekend?
I mean, as I've been walking around the racetrack, I don't want to say the wrong words, the pit, the garage, this, that, and the other. I mean, for me, you feel the excitement. You feel probably a little tenseness, too, from people, right? It's a big weekend. But the fans are pumped. I mean, everyone's been yelling, screaming, hooting and hollering the whole time, so we're ready to see some fast racing.
You mentioned the hoot and the holler and the fans. There is a lot of fun out here today, but there's still competition. I mean, 4 of these drivers have to then flip a switch into that competitive mode amongst all of this excitement. How do you do that from your experience?
I mean, for me, it was always just being in the moment. You know, what the athletes are doing behind closed doors gets them ready for this moment, right? So if they're prepared, you're going to be able to see it out there, and they'll make the right moves. The car will be firing on all cylinders, right? So I think it's like the biggest thing for me that I always learned was be in the moment. If you're not in the moment, you're not going to be the best version of yourself.
The most decorated Olympian of all time, knowing a thing or two about what it's like to be a champion and knowing a couple of champions amongst yourself, what are the qualities that you find every champion embodies?
Hard work, dedication, finding a way to get it done, no excuses. I don't know. I mean, you just get up and do it. You know, this is, for me, it was something that I love to do every single day, and I was obsessed with trying to get 1/100th of a second faster, right? So for me, it was how much am I willing to give in order to get.
Well, I know they've got you in the pace car, and this is your first weekend, so you're taking it all in, still learning the terminology.
Yes,
We're not
yes,
going to fault you for that. But do you ever see yourself, maybe wanting to give a try at anything in the NASCAR world? Maybe not driving, but would you ever want to, I don't know, hold a gas can, hold a fuel can, jack up a car? What do you think?
I think I have a lot to learn if I'm going to do that. But again, for me, I just appreciate being around great athletes, people that are the top level of their sport. And when I went around when the driver was driving me in the Camry, we were going around these turns at like 100 miles an hour, and you're able to see the force and just really everything that it does to your body. So being able to feel that firsthand and know what these guys are going to go through today, it's mind-blowing.
To hear that coming from somebody like you, who is as competitive and athletic as you are, really puts into perspective the feat that these guys take on every weekend. So thank you for laying that out, and thank you for being here today. We really appreciate having you here at Championship Race Day.
Thank you.
That's Michael Phelps, 28 Olympic medal wins for Michael Phelps, and now today, adding pace car driver to his resume here in Phoenix. Alex?
Well, with a huge following on YouTube and social media, Jay Mendoza knows a thing or two about major sporting events. But this is not your first NASCAR experience. So how do you feel now that you attended the LA Clash, but now you're at Championship Sunday? How does it feel?
This is a championship. I mean, you can't be more excited. You got Michael Phelps here. You know what I'm saying? I'm on a stage where Michael Phelps was actually standing, who is an Olympian. So I'm super excited. And let's get the engines revving. I want to smell some tires. And let's get excitement going.
Let's also talk about, because you're an LA native, and LA is such a sports town, but it's also a huge cultural car enthusiast. So let's look at what you think of just coming and hearing these engines fired up and what the cars bring to life here when you're at the racetrack. What do you think of that?
I mean, I'm a huge car guy. I collect all old schools, all Chevys, So when I see cars, it's like I feel like a little kid. It's like I want to be able to drive, and I love the speed. And just to hear and smell tires, it's a different feeling. And just to see all the fans here as well. I mean, I love seeing people that recognize me here, so it's always cool.
Okay, well, you mentioned you're a Chevy guy. There's one Chevrolet in the championship for. Does that mean William Byron's your pick?
Well, I love William Byron, but for some reason, every time I come to races, Joey Logano wins. So my prediction for today is probably Joey Logano.
Wow, I like it. Way to back down on the 22 there. What are you hoping to experience throughout your race day here today? What are you looking forward to doing?
I just want to see a great race. I want to see it come down to the wire, and some excitement, and I just want to stay on my toes and just have a great race.
All right, well, Jay is excited. We're getting more and more fired up here because the energy is building here at Phoenix Raceway, and we are going to crown a champion. We're getting closer and closer to the drop of the green flag, and let's remind you again where our championship four will roll off for today's race. We mentioned Joey Logano, who is on the front row with Martin Truex Jr. He starts second. It's the Chevrolet of William Byron who will roll off 8th. The first appearance for 2311 Racing, Tyler Reddick, starts 10th. And then your reigning champion in the NASCAR Cup Series, trying to go back-to-back, it'll be Ryan Blaney, who starts 17th. Well, that's it. That'll do it for us here down on pit road, because all that's left, the drivers will go to drivers meeting, driver intros, and then they hop inside of some really fast race cars here at Phoenix. And fans, it's a can't miss event because you have 4 drivers who are going after a 2024 NASCAR Cup Series Championship trophy, and the first one to cross the finish line is your champion. Make sure and tune in 3 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Thank you guys so much for making 2024 an incredible season. And for the final time, from all of us here at NASCAR, I'm Alex Weaver. Happy race day.
There's the championship 4.
To see a driver dig down, you want to see that.
Little kid drove his ass off. I'm proud of him.
What do you think that final lap?
Reddick is not done with yet. Tyler Reddick just drives all the way around Ryan Blaney. Can you believe what you just saw here, boys? Reddick's going to Phoenix. Ryan Blaney's not losing anything here in Martinsville. He wins and is going to Phoenix.
How do you thrive and how do you look forward to that pressure? Because it's a privilege to have that pressure. It means you're doing something special.
And his teammate at Team Penske, Joey Logano, can become a 3-time Cup Series champion.
You've let a man in that knows how to get to the front and get a win.
Hell, how far would the house money carry Joey Logano? Holy crap, what a turn of events the last week.
Yeah, we're plenty capable. It's one of my best tracks. It's one of Rudy's best tracks, so we're excited for that.